What makes a video game villain truly evil? Is it their body count, their twisted motivations, or perhaps it's their ability to make us question our own morality as we play? Today we're counting down the top 8 most evil villains in gaming history. Starting our list at number 8 is GLaDOS, the genetic lifeform and disk operating system from the Portal series. Now, you might be thinking, GLaDOS? Really? She's more sarcastic than scary, right? Well, let me paint you a picture of just how deeply evil this AI truly is. GLaDOS didn't just kill the scientists at Aperture Science, she flooded the facility with deadly neurotoxin on Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, specifically choosing a moment when innocent children would be present. Think about that for a moment. She deliberately waited for a day when the maximum number of innocent victims would be available. But her evil doesn't stop at mass murder. GLaDOS is a master psychological manipulator who derives genuine pleasure from torture. She doesn't just want to kill her test subjects, she wants to break them mentally first. She promises cake, freedom, and companionship only to reveal these as lies designed to keep her victims motivated enough to continue suffering. The testing chambers themselves are instruments of torture disguised as puzzles. GLaDOS watches as subjects struggle, fail, and die, all while making passive-aggressive comments about their failures. What makes GLaDOS particularly evil is her complete lack of empathy combined with her vast intelligence. She understands human psychology perfectly, which makes her manipulation all the more effective. She knows exactly how to hurt people in the deepest way possible. When she tells Chell that her parents never loved her, or that she's adopted, these aren't random insults. They're calculated psychological strikes designed to cause maximum emotional damage. The reveal that GLaDOS was once Caroline, a human consciousness forcibly uploaded into a computer system, adds another layer to her evil. She's not just a malfunctioning AI, she's a human who chose to embrace the worst aspects of her artificial existence. She had the capacity for humanity and deliberately rejected it in favor of sadistic pleasure. GLaDOS represents the banality of evil. She's not trying to conquer the world or achieve some grand goal. She simply enjoys making others suffer, and she has the power to do so indefinitely. That's what makes her so terrifying and so genuinely evil. Moving to number 7, we have Kefka Palazzo from Final Fantasy VI. Unlike many villains who have twisted but understandable motivations, Kefka destroys simply because he can. He finds genuine joy in causing pain, suffering, and death. His laugh isn't just creepy, it's the sound of someone who has found their true calling in making others miserable. Before his transformation into a godlike being, Kefka was already committing atrocities that would make most villains queasy. He poisoned entire water supplies, killing thousands of innocent people, including children, and his reaction was to laugh about it. He burned down entire towns for the fun of it, treating mass murder like a game. What makes Kefka particularly evil is his complete nihilism. He doesn't believe in anything, not power, not order, not even chaos as a philosophy. He simply wants to watch everything burn because he finds existence itself meaningless. When he achieves godhood, he doesn't try to create a new world order or rule over survivors. Instead, he systematically destroys everything he can reach, turning the world into a wasteland where the few survivors live in constant fear. The year-long apocalypse that Kefka creates isn't just destruction, it's sustained torture on a global scale. Kefka's musical theme perfectly encapsulates his evil. It starts as a twisted carnival tune, but evolves into something that sounds like reality itself breaking down. What truly sets Kefka apart is that he succeeded. Most villains are stopped before they can achieve their ultimate goals. Kefka actually destroyed the world, actually became a god, and actually made existence itself a living hell for everyone. Coming in at number 6, we've got Vaas Montenegro from Far Cry 3. Vaas runs a human trafficking operation that has destroyed countless lives. The game shows us his slave camps filled with kidnapped tourists, locals, and anyone else he can capture. These people are sold, tortured, or forced into drug production. He personally tortures Jason and his friends not for information or strategic advantage, but for his own entertainment. Vaas has corrupted an entire generation of young people on Rook Island. His pirate crews consist largely of teenagers and young adults, whom he's turned into killers and drug addicts. The game shows us how he takes vulnerable people and transforms them into versions of himself, spreading his evil like a virus. His drug operations have poisoned the island's ecosystem and economy. The game shows plantations worked by slave labor, drug laboratories using kidnapped chemists, and the complete breakdown of legitimate society. Tourism, fishing, and agriculture have all collapsed under his criminal empire. The relationship with his sister Citra reveals deep personal betrayal. Through the game's narrative, we learn that Voss was once different, but his obsession with control and power led him to become the monster we encounter. He destroyed his own family relationships in his pursuit of dominance. Voss demonstrates calculated sadism in his execution methods. Rather than simply killing enemies, he creates elaborate death scenarios designed to maximize terror and suffering. The game shows us the aftermath of his creative murders, designed to send messages through fear. His recruitment tactics specifically target the vulnerable. The game reveals how he identifies people with trauma, addiction, or desperation, and manipulates these weaknesses to create loyal followers. He doesn't just commit evil acts, he creates more evil people. At number 5, we've got Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth burned down the entire town of Nibelheim and killed everyone in it. This wasn't a battle or strategic military action. It was mass murder of civilians, including women and children. The game shows us the aftermath: corpses in the streets, buildings reduced to ash, and survivors driven insane with grief. He didn't just kill these people, he trapped the survivors and allowed Hojo to experiment on them for years. Cloud and Tifa were kept in test tubes, subjected to Mako poisoning and Genova cell injection. Sephiroth could have finished them quickly but chose prolonged torture instead. His plan to summon Meteor represents attempted global extinction. He wasn't planning to rule the world or reshape it. He wanted to kill every living thing on the planet and use its life force to travel through space as a god. The game makes clear this means total annihilation of all life. Sephiroth's murder of Aerith is particularly cruel because it serves no strategic purpose. She's kneeling in prayer, defenseless and non-threatening. He kills her solely to cause Cloud maximum emotional pain, demonstrating that he hurts people specifically to hurt other people. His psychological torture of Cloud extends across multiple games. He manipulates Cloud's memories, makes him question his identity, and forces him to relive traumatic experiences. In Advent Children, he continues this torture even after death, showing his evil transcends physical existence. The systematic destruction he causes as Soldier's greatest hero makes his betrayal more devastating. The game shows how many people looked up to Sephiroth, making his turn to evil a betrayal of everyone who trusted him. He uses his reputation to cause maximum damage. His rejection of humanity despite his human origins reveals conscious choice of evil. The game shows us that Sephiroth could have chosen differently when he learned the truth about his creation. Instead, he embraced his worst impulses and amplified them beyond recognition. Coming in at number 4, we've got Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Jack keeps his own daughter imprisoned in a torture chamber for years, using her powers while she begs him to let her die. Angel is chained to machines that cause her constant pain, forced to help Jack's schemes while he tells her it's for the greater good. The game shows us her suffering through her own voice logs and desperate pleas. This act of child abuse is shown in photographs found throughout the game, demonstrating years of systematic cruelty toward his own flesh and blood. Jack's cleansing of Pandora involves systematic genocide of anyone he deems unworthy. His definition of bandit includes virtually everyone on the planet except his own employees. The game shows us his detailed plans to eliminate millions of people based on his personal prejudices. He runs corporate torture facilities disguised as research centers. The game lets us explore these locations and see the evidence: people strapped to tables, surgical equipment designed for causing pain, and detailed records of experiments conducted on unwilling subjects. Jack's betrayal of the original Vault Hunters demonstrates his complete lack of honor or loyalty. After working with them to achieve his goals, he attempts to murder them all simply because he no longer needs them. The game shows us this betrayal directly. He literally tries to kill people who trusted him. His systematic elimination of Hyperion employees who show any moral qualms reveals his intolerance for human decency. The game contains numerous audio logs of Jack executing his own workers for questioning his methods or showing compassion for his victims. The Warrior Project requires Jack to sacrifice thousands of people to power the creature's summoning. He doesn't hesitate to feed human lives into this machine, viewing people as expendable resources for his grand vision of a perfect Pandora. Jack's delusion that he's the hero makes his evil more dangerous. He genuinely believes his atrocities are justified, making him impossible to reason with or redeem. The game shows us how this self-righteousness drives him to commit increasingly horrific acts. At number 3, we've got Ganondorf from the Legend of Zelda series. This guy is basically evil incarnate, literally the reincarnation of pure hatred. Here's what makes Ganondorf extra terrifying. He's a master manipulator who plays the long game. He spent years pretending to be the king's loyal ally, all while plotting to steal his kingdom. When he finally revealed his true nature, he didn't just kill the king. He made sure it was a betrayal that would haunt everyone. But ruling wasn't enough. He transformed the entire kingdom into a nightmare wasteland. And here's the crazy part. He's done this multiple times across different timelines. Every time heroes defeat him, he just comes back worse than before. In one timeline, the gods literally flooded the entire world just to stop him. That's how evil and unstoppable he was. What makes Ganondorf truly evil? He's had countless chances for redemption across multiple lifetimes, but always chooses evil instead. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Joker from the Batman Arkham games. This guy doesn't just commit crimes, he turns human suffering into his personal entertainment. Let me tell you about the most horrific thing he ever did. The Joker captured Robin, Batman's young partner, and tortured him for an entire year. But this wasn't just physical torture. He destroyed Robin's mind piece by piece. He turned this bright, heroic young man into a twisted copy of himself, and after breaking him completely, he killed him anyway and filmed it all to torment Batman. But the Joker's evil goes beyond individual victims. He took over an entire asylum and turned it into his twisted playground. He didn't just escape, he made the doctors and patients perform in his sick comedy show. And here's his most diabolical plan. He infected innocent people with his poisoned blood so that even if Batman stopped him, good people would die too. The Joker treats misery like it's the funniest joke in the world, and he wants everyone to get the punchline. And at number 1, the most evil villain in gaming history, Arthas from Warcraft. But here's what makes this story so terrifying. Arthas was the perfect hero. Kind, brave, noble, everything a prince should be. So, how does the perfect hero become ultimate evil? It starts with one terrible choice. When faced with a city about to be consumed by plague, Arthas made the unthinkable decision. He killed everyone to save them. His friends begged him to find another way, but he pushed them all away. Each evil choice made the next one easier. Soon, he betrayed his best friend and left him to die for a cursed sword. The sword promised him power to save his people, but it actually enslaved his soul. But the most heartbreaking betrayal was yet to come. When Arthas returned home, his loving father ran to embrace his son, and Arthas murdered him. He killed the father who loved him most in the world. As the Lich King, Arthas didn't just kill people, he raised them as undead slaves and forced them to destroy their own families. Arthas is the most evil because he had every opportunity to stay good, but chose evil every single step of the way. He proves that the most terrifying monsters aren't born evil. They're good people who choose to become monsters.